Hello and welcome. The aim of today's video is to show a fundamental truth about how the universe operates. This will help you understand the mechanisms behind much of what you learn about the human condition when you go through a spiritual awakening, and it will work as a good foundation for applying the different teachings that you encounter. The realization that all is fundamentally energy, which flows and vibrates at various levels, provides an expansive perspective on life, the world, and even consciousness itself. Truly understanding this means no longer seeing reality as primarily physical, where you are strictly subject to the laws of cause and effect. As often, you are reminded that the map is not the territory. Knowledge of the mechanics of the universe does not imply understanding, and even though this knowledge can help with de-identification with the world of form, it will far from break the identification once and for all. Furthermore, for you to get a really deep understanding of the exact machinations of this would require serious studies of physics, and that is not the aim of this video, which is rather to give a helpful, accessible lesson that will help you on your spiritual journey. Energy is what makes things happen. It's the driving force behind motion, change, and the ability to take action, all the way from a subatomic level up to the level of planets, solar systems, and galaxies. It can be thought of as the fuel for everything that occurs, from a car moving down the road to your body digesting food. Energy is the invisible essence that powers all these processes and keeps the world in motion. But in this context, we are also moving into areas where it is not directly observable and where its functions go beyond the laws of cause and effect. Vibrations are the way energy expresses itself. Imagine a guitar string being plucked. It vibrates back and forth, creating sound. In a similar way, energy moves in waves or patterns of oscillation, and this is what we call vibrations. These vibrations exist in everything, from the physical world we can touch, like a chair or a tree, to the invisible parts of life, like emotions and thoughts. Each type of energy vibrates at its own frequency, how fast or slow it moves. For example, light has a very high frequency while sound waves are slower. This idea that everything vibrates, including our feelings and thoughts, helps explain how interconnected everything is in the universe, and also gives you a tangible understanding of what it means to raise your vibration or raise your frequency, which are undoubtedly phrases that you've heard if you're consuming content about spiritual awakening. What needs to be grasped here, at least on a rudimentary level, is that this is the foundation of everything in the human experience. In other words, when you think, feel, move, and speak, in essence, it's all energy that vibrates at different frequencies, and every minute detail of every event and phenomenon carries its own frequency. In David Hawkins' teachings, this concept is mainly used in a spiritual context, at least from our current understanding of reality. However, it has a basis in academic science, and even in the academia. As many know, the lines are being more and more blurred between spirituality and science in some branches of quantum physics, even if this is not something that all quantum physicists are happy about. Quantum physics shows that matter, when examined at the subatomic level, is composed of particles that are in constant motion. These particles exhibit wave-like behavior, which aligns with the idea that everything has vibratory characteristics. The notion that particles can exist as both energy waves and solid forms in what is called wave-particle duality supports the view that matter in essence is energy vibrating at different frequencies. The rate of these vibrations, known as frequency, determines the nature of the energy and how it interacts with the surrounding environment. In Hawkins and many other teachings, higher frequencies are associated with positive states, such as love, joy, and peace, while lower frequencies often align with denser, more negative states, such as anger or fear. This relationship is crucial for understanding the human experience. Higher vibrational states promote well-being, balance, and interconnectedness, contributing to a healthier body and mind. On the other hand, lower vibrations can lead to emotional and physical challenges. This understanding will give you a very practical, tangible way of approaching reality and what you choose to fill your life with. There is no moral judgment involved here. You simply know that certain thoughts, emotions, words, and actions raise your frequency and the frequency of those that are affected by them, while others lower it. From this, you also know that an action that might seemingly benefit you, while it has a negative effect on someone else, in fact, basically, without exception, lowers your vibrations. The same goes for the experiences you choose to have, where entertainment probably is the easiest and most easily understood example. Consuming positive, uplifting content, whether books, conversations, or media, nurtures higher energy levels, fostering feelings of joy, motivation, and peace. On the other hand, regularly engaging with negative, fear-inducing, or cynical material can lower your vibrational frequency, leading to stress, anxiety, and a negative outlook. Just as nutrition affects physical health, mental and emotional input influences your state of being. By consciously choosing thoughts and impressions that support positivity and growth, you cultivate a higher vibrational state that enhances well-being and aligns with positive experiences. Again, there is no moral judgment here. One thing is not, objectively speaking, better than the other. This is also not to say that you are in any serious trouble if you happen to consume some low vibrational content. And in fact, if you are already in a low vibrational state, you may not be receptive to content that vibrates at a frequency that is too high. You have experienced this if, for example, you felt really low, and what usually cheers you up only annoyed you. Furthermore, depending on your level of awareness, the content you consume will affect you differently. A highly conscious person who is aware of his or her intentions when engaging with it will not be affected the same by low vibrational input as someone who is completely unconscious and keeping something that you've seen or heard alive in your memory by thinking about it may affect you more than the actual experience. As already stated, the principle of energy and vibrations extends beyond personal experience to encompass the interactions between people and their surroundings. Because energy is constantly moving and vibrating, it creates fields that influence and are influenced by other energies. This interconnected field of energy means that the vibrations one emits can attract similar frequencies from the external world, reinforcing the idea that like attracts like, which is also the principle behind what is commonly known as the law of attraction. There will be a whole video dealing with this from the perspective of Hawkins' teachings soon. Now, we are moving more and more towards an understanding that consciousness is the foundation of matter, which is also the first of the 7 Hermetic principles, which we have a video on. There will be a link at the end screen. Consciousness, which transcends the tangible, interacts with and manifests through the material world. It's often perceived as a dynamic energy field that permeates and interconnects all things. This viewpoint is bolstered by scientific insights, where it is recognized that even the most solid matter is composed of vibrating particles. Atoms themselves, composed of subatomic particles, are in a constant state of motion, indicating that what we see as static or solid is, at its core, an expression of dynamic vibratory energy. As a matter of fact, approximately 99.999 etc% of an atom is empty space. This means that nearly all of what we perceive as solid matter is almost entirely composed of empty space. The nucleus of an atom takes up only an infinitesimal fraction of the atom's total volume, with the rest being the space where electrons exist. In Hawkins' teachings, the vibrational frequency of emotions and states of consciousness plays a significant role. Emotions are not just internal psychological states, they emit specific vibrational frequencies that influence the body and environment. Positive emotions, which are higher in vibrational frequency, foster a sense of well-being, and resonate with the energy systems of the body, such as the chakras. For instance, feelings such as love, joy, and peace correspond to higher energy frequencies and contribute positively to one's mental and physical health. Conversely, lower vibrational states like anger or apathy correlate with negative impacts, such as physical ailments or diminished emotional well-being. Our thoughts and beliefs are forms of energy that not only shape our internal reality, but extend outward, influencing those around us and the broader environment. This interconnection implies that our mental state, whether conscious or subconscious, broadcasts vibrational energy that can affect relationships, situations, and even non-human life forms like plants and animals. The already mentioned principle that like attracts like suggests that our dominant emotional vibrations attract corresponding energies from the world. At higher levels of vibration, human consciousness transcends ordinary mental processes and moves into states of pure awareness, or what is termed knowingness. This state bypasses linear, logical thinking and enters a realm of holistic understanding where everything is interconnected. This interconnectedness is part of the fabric of a reality where all is one, a perspective shared by advanced theories in quantum physics and traditional spiritual teachings. The implication of living in a world of energy and vibrations extends to how we interact with life and each other. As we raise our own vibrational frequency by letting go of negative emotions and embracing higher states of consciousness, not only do we improve our own experiences, but we also contribute positively to the collective energy field. This transformative process is supported by the idea that love and joy, which vibrate at high frequencies, have the power to influence others and even the larger environment in ways that are beneficial. The concept of energy as a spectrum that spans from the densest physical matter to the most refined spiritual states is crucial for understanding human evolution and potential. Our journey is not just one of physical growth, but of energetic alignment. As we become aware of this, we begin to see life not just in terms of tangible experiences, but as a dance of vibrations and energy within a field of infinite consciousness. To put these teachings into practice, start by cultivating awareness of your emotional and mental states, recognizing that they emit vibrational energy that can shape experiences. Awareness is crucial here, as most people are unaware of what is really going in their inner lives, as well as their behavior. They may, for example, say that they are happy and have a positive outlook on life, but when they examine their day-to-day experiences, they are filled with worry, frustration, complaining, and attempts to angrily make other people conform to their wills. Prioritizing positive emotions, such as gratitude, love, and joy, naturally raises your vibrational frequency. This not only benefits personal well-being, but can influence interactions, creating more harmonious relationships and environments. This is, of course, often easier said than done, but just by taking the first step of living a more conscious life, you've taken a huge leap forward. Next, Hawkins emphasizes letting go of lower emotions, such as anger or fear, by fully acknowledging them without resistance. Simple acts of love and kindness, or offering words of support and encouragement to others, will raise your vibration. You may, if it suits you, also consider starting a gratitude journal, as the feeling of gratitude is a very high vibrational emotion. For it to work effectively, though, you need to really feel the emotion and not just make a list the way you write down a grocery list. Meditation or mindfulness also shifts focus away from negativity, allowing space for joy to arise naturally. By focusing on the present moment and acknowledging thoughts without judgment, you foster a clearer, more balanced mental state. This awareness reduces stress and promotes a sense of peace. The non-judgment part here is important. It's very easy to start telling ourselves that we shouldn't feel this or that way because it's low vibrational. We may even start comparing ourselves to others who seem to be further along on their spiritual journey, even though we can only observe a fraction of the totality of their lives. This evaluative comparison is in itself part of the problem, as it in itself vibrates at a lower frequency. There is a reason why neutrality is a crucial point in Hawkins' scale of consciousness. This is where we actually become free to choose consciously instead of being triggered into reactive behaviors. From here, it's much easier to make choices that are in line with higher vibrational emotions, such as enthusiasm or joy. A crucial point is reached when you start to be able to remain conscious when you face triggering events, and this has to a large degree to do with simply cultivating a new habit. If you haven't practiced this before, you might become a bit shocked to learn how easily you get triggered into victim mode, where you start complaining and add fuel to negative emotions by thinking all kinds of negative thoughts about the event that triggered them. You may even helplessly watch yourself lash out at your surroundings. Don't worry, this is the normal state that most people operate from, and just by becoming aware of it, you've begun to change it. It's uncomfortable in the beginning, and here it's very easy to start beating oneself up, thinking that one ought to do better. Making conscious choices about the people and environments you engage with is also essential, as they can affect your vibrational state. The realization that we may have to reevaluate some of our friendships may be tough for many, and this is not to say that you should break contact with anyone that you don't want to, or that you start valuing friendships purely from the perspective of how they affect your vibration. However, as you grow and evolve, while others have no wish to do so, you may find that you float apart, and there is no point in resisting this process. Lastly, integrating relaxation techniques such as breathwork, meditation, or yoga aligns the mind and body, helping balance energy and reduce tension. Visualization and affirmations can be used to project positive energy and intentions, aligning actions with desired outcomes. By applying these practices, you can consciously navigate life with more resilience, positivity, and a sense of interconnectedness with the world. However, you need to recognize that what you are essentially doing is learning a completely new way of viewing and interacting with reality. This takes time for most people, and it will in all likelihood not run smoothly immediately. This shift in perception encourages moving beyond seeing ourselves as isolated beings and understanding our true nature as participants in an energetic web of existence. This knowledge empowers us to approach life with greater awareness and a sense of unity with all that is. In summary, everything in the universe is fundamentally composed of energy and vibrations. Hawkins describes how consciousness interacts with this energy, influencing our experiences, emotions, and well-being. The concept is supported by scientific insights, highlighting that seemingly solid matter is really composed of atoms vibrating at specific frequencies. Emotions and thoughts also emit energy, affecting the body and environment. Higher vibrational states, such as love and peace, promote positive outcomes, while lower states like anger, fear, or shame can have negative impacts. Understanding this interconnected field of energy encourages a deeper perception of unity and well-being. Knowing this gives us a value-neutral perspective that will help us make more conscious choices with regards to both our inner and outer lives. Thus, putting these teachings into practice can help you have a more conscious relationship with your human experience. What you need to ask yourself when you approach teachings such as these, teachings that often can challenge your conception of reality, is, what do I truly know? If you're going through a spiritual awakening, you are most definitely waking up to the fact that the world is not what it appears to be. What follows logically from this is that, until you know more, anything is possible. By keeping teachings such as these in the back of your mind and seeing confirmations of how they are being played out in your day-to-day life, as you pay more and more attention to what is going on in your immediate experiences, you move them from the realm of the abstract and theoretical into the realm of concrete and practical. But don't be discouraged if you don't see results immediately when you put these teachings into practice. Remember that this, in essence, is about adopting a completely new way of viewing and interacting with the world. It is a way where you are no longer as constrained by the normal limitations of the physical 3D reality, but it still requires a lot of persistence as you are making the shift. However, if you manage to get through the admittedly bumpy first stretch, you will eventually notice that you feel lighter after a while, that your overall mode becomes more positive, that you have more spontaneous experiences of joy and bliss, that you don't get as easily triggered by negative experiences, and that when you do get triggered, the negative mood stays with you a much shorter period of time. You are finally reminded of the intention of bringing these teachings to your attention. They provide a practically applicable way of approaching your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions, and what you choose to experience from a higher, more neutral perspective that is free from moral judgment, so that you can make these choices consciously from a place of understanding, rather than being a victim of the circumstances that you find yourself in. You've now reached the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for your time.